Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Lou, Seth, Guyson from the Villager Cigar Studios. John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Justin Andrews, I love you.
Bienvenido a Miami.
All right. So today we're talking about the Cohiba Serie M Corona Gorda. It's more of a, short Churchill, 6.5 inch by 48. I don't know what you want to call it here.
Not a Corona Gorda.
No. Comes out of the El Titan de Bronze factory in the United States. Wrapper's Nicaraguan Corojo, binders from Nicaragua. Filler is Nicaraguan Jalapa and Esteli and Dominican Piloto Cubano. Price point is $29.99, and the cigar was released in April of 2022. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Cigar was I mainly got a couple of things out of this. A lot of spicy cedar minerals. There wasn't enough the softer, kind of sweeter tones coming through. Pretty. So I was telling you guys before we went live on this, but I smoked 3 of these. One of them was actually significantly better, but the other 2 that I smoked was just like this, where there was too much minerals, too much kind of woodsy cedar coming through, and not enough of that like softness that I was looking for. So yeah, I really like the size, but flavor profile didn't deliver nearly as much as the first iteration of it.
All right, Seth, what were your thoughts? Oh, you're muted, bro.
Damn, fucking
Rocky.
That gem that you just laid on us was lost.
Terrible.
There was no gem, but I was going to say, listen, as June said that he smoked through all the samples and he had one good one. I also smoked, to disclose, I also smoked samples that I purchased from Havana Fills. So I was smoking samples that were provided to us by General and ones by Havana Fills, and there was vast differences. But I did find the ones that I purchased had a core profile, which was really enjoyable, and it's not anything like past year's release. And I'm now wrapping up a conclusion, so I'm going to focus on the first third. I'm sorry, Aaron.
Right.
Really rich earth, mocha. I was getting some stone fruit, sweet spices, medium strengthened body. It was like, listen, I loved it from the first third, second third. It was just, listen, I'm going to praise this whole damn thing. I think it's fantastic.
You like this more than the first one?
No, I did not. Didn't I? No.
I'd have to look up the score, but
I'll
keep
look
talking.
it up. I don't think I did.
I'll find it.
The only thing that's not a Corona Gorda. John.
So we were just talking about flavor profiles, even though it's not really made in the Dominican Republic. We were just talking about flavor profiles and how Seth and I tend to not align when it comes to Dominican profiles. I found this cigar very Dominican-esque. I'll get into that as we go. So for flavor profiles, definitely got, musty cedar, light baking spices, which, reminds me of like a Davidoff. Wooden baking spices become sort of more medium, powdered cocoa, white pepper, like graham cracker, some nice sweetness, like a really, nuanced, balanced first third with, a little bit of strength. Musty graham cracker in the second third, mild baking spices, mild dryness, some citrus. It's more citrusy take on the first third, and the last third did start with mild musty graham, but then it became sort of a more of a mild bitter cedar, chocolate and espresso sort of enhancing that bitterness, and then some astringency and citrus coming through. So it was okay, it was pleasant, but didn't quite harmonize the way the first couple thirds. I actually smoked 2 cigars for this as well. Both interestingly had burn problems, which was kind of funny. And in fact, in the exact same places, both had a wavy burn with a portion of the wrapper that didn't burn in the first third, then corrected. And then both of them became uneven in the second third, required a touch up almost at the exact same point. And I was like trying to smoke it in a different way to see if it was a, user error. It was not a user error. Also, both cigars had a resistant draw. The first one had a 2.5 notch resistant draw. So, some resistance, and the second one had a minor amount of resistance, 1.5, 2 notches. So averaged out to very good. Anyways, all that to say, it was a good experience. I liked them. There you go. Aaron, what about you?
For me, the cigar started with toasted cedar, baking spice, and light mustiness. Some earth joined it a bit later, and then the second third saw the toast level become heavy. Final third saw the baking spice depart and the toast transition to char. The cigar started on a positive note, but kind of dropped down level in each of the remaining thirds of that snug draw I had. Likely took a toll on the flavor profile, kind of just choking it out. But this being the second Vitola that we reviewed, I'm still not enamored with this blend. You guys were with the first one. Price point's really high. I just don't think it provides a smoking experience that's kind of on par with that price point. So it's not something I'm going to see myself coming back to. So, all right, let's get into the scores. I'm going to start out at the top with Seth at 7.37. Jiunn gave it a 5.55. I gave it a 5.35, and John gave it a 5.30. So Seth, had that 7.37 matchup for you?
Not as good. It's about a point, almost a point less than last year, Jiunn. Not as good as the Toro. I still thought it was a really good cigar. I thought it's really concentrated, if that makes any sense with this Vitola. It just felt really sharp and very concentrated. I think it needs to open up, but I like the blend. I like what comes out of it. I like the stuff out of the factory in that sense. So I can get behind it.
All right,
I don't even know who's anywhere close to me.
5.55, so almost 2 whole points. Go ahead, Jim.
On a whole nother course.
Big drop. I like the last year one way better. Unlike Seth, I felt like this. I mean, you figure, they go thinner ring gauge. Flavors should be more intense and full, and more, kind of fuller in general. But it wasn't that sense. Like the flavors that I got were full, but I just felt like there wasn't enough of a balance of like the other kind of spectrum of flavors to like tie it together better. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we need to buy a master case of these from Havana Phil's to confirm that these are really good.
Go buy a whole. Sorry, I was watching this video of a guy who stuck a straw through a hot dog at a baseball game and he was drinking beer through the hot dog.
All right,
my $1,000 for a box.
My 5.35 matches up well. Overall, it was an average flavor profile. Construction was okay. Had a fairly snug draw, so that kind of took down a notch. But not something I'm coming back to. All right, John, 5.3.
So you can just ignore everything that I said because I grabbed my wrong notes. I grabbed the last Cohiba. So if it sounded great, that's because it was the last one that was good. This one was average across the board and uninspiring and flat and boring. But the construction was great. So except for the burn or the draw, pardon me.
Yeah.
So so ignore everything that I said. It wasn't very good. It was very average. It was very flat. Very boring.
All right. Final thoughts from you guys on this cigar. Should they go for a third Vitola, or should they just leave it well enough alone?
No, keep it coming. I want to see what else.
Unfortunately,
Lonsdale.
I bet you. I mean, don't you feel like they're just mimicking La Polina Goldie? That this has just the true ability to really go downhill. Like I know it hasn't really gone uphill for you guys, but I just feel like I think Justin has the ability in a couple of years to really destroy Cohiba Serie, and then it'll give me the opportunity to attack him. I just think by 2024, Justin has the ability to screw this up. To be, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Am I wrong?
Why? Because you think he could only do diesels?
No, it's just because everybody screws these up. I mean,
with how good the
La
first one
Polina
was
screwed it up with
from
Goldies,
you guys.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
was a change in tobacco, right? For La Polina Goldies. I mean,
and
that was the culprit. Yeah, in fact,
I mean, I think there's the Goldies are still same factory.
Now they are, but
when they were really good back
when
in
they
the
were
day,
really good, when they made that initial shift, they weren't made at the same factory anymore.
Yeah, they were the roller, but it was just the roller.
La
Polina Goldies, Laguito #1.
The initial run was done at El Teton, and then later on, they changed the factory.
Did they?
Yes. And because the moment they started to suck was when they weren't being rolled out at El Teton.
No way, they were still being made at El Teton.
No. I think the problem is that you're trying to make this a small ring gauge cigar, and I actually think weirdly it should be a larger ring gauge cigar.
I do agree with you on that.
What was
Despite the fact that I shit the bed on my review.
6x60 next. Just go freaking modern day Cohiba.
Do
Make
it.
everything
Do a box
big
press
ass
6x60. Box press 6x60. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it, but
Yeah, I mean, $30. And I, like I said, I had in my notes that I had some draw problems, and like for a cigar that expensive, like, and I know this wouldn't be fair, but I almost feel like the construction of a cigar over $25, you're either perfect or you should get a 0 score, because there's just no room in my mind for a $30 cigar to have any flaws whatsoever.
this one is
Maybe that's just me.
not that fun for any of us. So,
Yep.
All right. Wherever you're catching this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the full written review on the website, and follow us on all the social media channels. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.